What is up, guys and girls? Today we are here with a farming video, a beginner's farming guide for Wonder Tactics. And let me put this on full auto. There we go. If you guys watched my previous video, I actually recorded about an hour of my initial gameplay and thoughts, which was broken down into two separate videos. I guess while I was recording those, I listened to Spotify in the background to have some music for you guys and for myself, just like I always do. And when I uploaded the first video and second video up to YouTube, I found out, I guess, one of the songs, for whatever reason, has a certain copyright on it, and YouTube decided to mute the entire video. The entire 1 hour, which is both videos. So I didn't even publish the second video. The first video, I believe, is still up. However, it's kind of like there's no real point to it if you can't actually hear what I'm saying, because the whole time, I'm kind of giving my initial thoughts and reviews and whatever else about the game. So it's really just kind of boring watching like the first half an hour to an hour of the actual gameplay, because it's all just pretty standard, the story mode stuff. So I will probably end up taking that first video down, and I haven't made anything really since then, just because I'm still kind of grinding through and kind of trying to get a feel for this game. And I still, I'm working, going to school full-time. I don't have a ton of time. Like right now, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I have to leave for class in a couple hours. But so let's get down into I guess the actual farming for this game. So I've done a lot of research. I've already cleared the campaign on normal, as well as I think accessed most of the I guess endgame content, like the bosses, the tower, a couple other things like the dungeons that require keys, and a lot of that stuff at early levels really is not significant at all, and kind of a waste of energy in my opinion. So I've been talking to some people on the game. I've talked to a couple friends that are playing the game, some of my guild mates from Summoner's War that are also playing, stuff like that. And I also went on Reddit. Reddit is right now just about the only online source of information that I could find. Nobody's really made any like websites or any other stuff. I didn't even find any other videos on YouTube or anything. Not that I really looked that hard. But Reddit had a lot of good information. From what I can see, the general consensus is if a monster, aside from a few monsters, if it's not like a 6-star monster, it's probably not going to be an end game type of monster. Where with like Summoner's War, I'm not sure with other games like Dragon Blaze and all this other stuff, because I've never really played any of those games because I'm not too interested in it. Summoner's War has always been my go-to and the one that I really like. But in Summoner's War, you can take there's 2-star monsters like Shannon that you want to get all the way up to 5, or at least 5-star, maybe 6-star, depending on what you're using her for. And she is, unless you get a Nat 5 that can do what she does, which I can't even think of any off the top of my head. But she is an endgame monster. She can be if you want her to be. Same with Bernard. Bernard's a 3-star. You've got Rauk the Fire Nugami, that's a 3-star. You've got a bunch of these options that you can carry that are 2 or 3-star monsters, and you can literally make them endgame monsters. And there's definitely more than that as well. But from a lot of the stuff that I've seen with this game, so far, a lot of people are saying that's not really the case. A lot of 2 and 3-stars outright just get straight up outclassed by the 5 and 6-star monsters, which is understandable, I guess. But even though like a lot of the 4-star monsters, people are saying they're not as good for the end game. I guess the 5-star and more importantly, really the 6-star monsters just kind of start to shine and outclass basically everybody, which is a little disappointing to hear, because you do want to have more options, and as of right now, there's not a ton of 5 and 6-star monsters, but I'm sure they'll keep adding more, like Summoner's War, if this game is popular and all that stuff. So a lot of the people have been saying, don't worry about getting rid of your 4-stars and stuff. I have a couple of different thoughts on that because I've gotten some 4 stars. You can see on my screen right now. I think I have all 4 of these guys are 4 stars. Miho, the healer in the back that looks like a dog with 2 tails or a wolf, he is pretty good. He's got an AoE burn and an AoE heal as well. And the heal actually is continuous. That lasts, I believe, 5 turns. Maybe it's 4. But it's pretty strong, and I like it. Also, when you awaken him, he has a team like leader skill that in the arena allows no more than 40% of your maximum HP to be taken as damage for your entire team. So basically that means your monsters cannot be one-shot, which to me, you know, that sounds awesome. Like, if all they can do at most is 40% of my health, that means I can still have squishy monsters out there and not worry about them getting one-shot. You know, depending on the speed and how things work, if, you know, 2 or 3 of their monsters can attack before your guy goes, then yeah, they still have the possibility of dying. But if it's just the one monster, he's not going to be able to one-shot him. So in my eyes, that, you know, it might not be the best, or it might not be, you know, like 6-star endgame, you know, whatever, Conqueror Arena or whatever, you know, I don't know what the actual grading is for the arena. I just know it's like bronze, silver, gold, and something else. I think platinum. So I don't know off the top of my head, obviously, because I'm not there yet. But in theory, you would think that that would be a really useful skill. So me personally, I'm not going to get rid of him. I'm going to hang on to him. The other one I have in the middle there, oh, I can't think of her name. I want to say Natalia or something like that. Natalie? I don't know. The one with the whip. She deals really good damage. She has a chance to inflict bleed. Her, you know, some of her passive skills and stuff look pretty good. She deals consistent damage. I'm probably going to hang on to her unless I get, you know, a really good, another 4-star, 5, 6-star, whatever it happens to be. I'm going to keep her. And then the first one is the Ice Giant. So far, he's been an awesome tank for me. So again, it's going to be another one of those guys that I'm going to hang on to. The Rhino, I'm not so crazy about. I'll probably end up getting rid of him. But, you know, that's just my thoughts on a lot of people saying, you know, don't even worry, like, don't even think about these 4 stars. You know, I would probably think, unless you're one of the people, I mean, I've already seen people that have put in like hundreds of dollars into this game. You know, you have that starter pack for $100 that gives you like 4,000 crystals or something, or whatever it is. Maybe, I don't remember if it was 4,000 or if it was 4,000 plus 4,000. You know, there's the starter packs that are like $5, $30 that all give you really good crystals and summons. Or whatever. I've seen a bunch of people that already have a ton of natural 5 stars and some of the 6 stars and some of the legendary monsters, which is crazy. So if you're one of those people, then yeah, probably don't worry about the 4 stars as much. But if you're free to play and stuff, and, you know, you're taking it slow like I am, I would, you know, kind of hang on just so we can kind of get a feel for these monsters before we outright just get rid of them, because they are, you know, if they are 4 stars. They're not going to be the easiest things to come by. So if you accidentally get rid of one that you know, people end up finding out is actually pretty useful and pretty good, you're going to be kicking yourself. So that's my thoughts on that. Do whatever you'd like. I mean, you guys can definitely go to Reddit yourselves and look at all the information and see what people are saying as well. But that's just my thoughts on it. So let's get down into the actual like farming basis. And I've seen a couple of different posts on Reddit that all have kind of said the exact same thing for the most part, and I kind of put them together a little bit, along with some stuff that other people have been saying, along with some of the stuff that I thought was kind of relevant as well. I do have to say, for the most part, I followed a pretty straightforward outline from one guy in particular, and I do want to give him a shout out. His Reddit name is They Call Me Doom. I don't know if that's his actual in-game name or not. But he's got a pretty solid outline that I'm going to follow for the most part. So again, I didn't come up with this 100%. I kind of had started doing it on my own. It's kind of straightforward. It's self-explanatory. It's like when you get to Famon for Summoners War, you know, that's the place to be. So let's put that up. I'm going to put the whole thing up on the screen for you because I typed it out just so you guys can, you know, if you need to, screenshot it, pause the video, do whatever, write it down. but it's pretty simple. So let's look at it. So what we have here is the beginner's farming guide. Now I say beginners just because once you get through the initial, first couple of summons, maybe if you bought like a $5 starter pack or whatever it is, you're gonna run out of like fodder monsters and the 1, 2, and 3-star monsters super quick. You're probably gonna run out of gold a lot too, I found. So this is kind of designed for those players. You do have to, the first step is clearing the story mode on normal. So if you haven't gotten to that point yet, just focus on that. It is pretty straightforward with the monsters that the game gives you. You should have, a couple of other, I can't think of what the scrolls are called in this game, but the 3 to 6-star monster summons, you should have a couple of those by now. So the 3, and if you were lucky and got maybe 1 or 2 4-stars or more, you should definitely be able to clear it hands down. If you can't, find friends. All you got to do is message some people. There's tons of people out there right now that are adding everybody they can. A lot of people have already, at the very least with their default, I think the character's name is Chris, the knight that you get, which I think he's the fire knight. I don't know. Most people have him at least level 30. Try to find somebody that has a level 30 monster that's +5. That kind of tells you that they know what they're doing and they're upgrading their monsters, and they probably have good equipment and stuff like that. But it's not that hard. You can find friends, you can find whatever. And if you really can't, then all you need to do is spend some time grinding on a couple levels that you already have 3 stars, so you can put it on fully auto and let the thing run by itself. So get some levels, do whatever, clear the story mode on normal. That would be my first tip. Second, Skull Rock Pinnacle is the last stage in the campaign story mode. What you want to do there is you want to 3-star at least one of the levels. I think I have almost all of them 3-starred. Maybe, actually there's a couple I think that are still at 2 stars for me. But all you really need is one. It doesn't really matter which one right now. I don't think anybody really has done any testing yet to see if certain map levels drop more fodder versus more items versus more gold and stuff like that. I think right now it's just the general consensus that Skull Rock Pinnacle, whichever stage you can do, 3-star, fully automatic, that's what you want to be doing. Basically, all you're going to do is live there. You are going to grind the stage until your eyes bleed. Hopefully not really, but you are going to be there for a long time. It's just like Famon. If you play Summoner's War, you're going to be there for a really long time. You're going to be farming. You're going to be, grinding your monsters. Hopefully, at this point, once you can fully auto, like right now, I don't have a single monster that can actually carry like a full team on normal mode. So I'm still running, 3 monsters, that the core middle group there, the Ice Giant, I think her name's Natalia, and Miho. That I kind of have to have those guys to. I could probably get away with taking away one of them. Maybe not. I don't know. It'd be iffy. My monsters aren't that strong yet. But you wanna be able to farm it consistently, fully automatic. I probably should get rid of the girl in the middle with the whip. I should probably bring in Tart, which you guys should all have. The game gives her to you strictly because she has a revive skill. So far, I haven't come across any other monsters that do have revives. I haven't summoned a ton, but I have a decent amount, and I haven't come across anybody else with a revive yet. So she is pretty useful. Don't get rid of her. But I should have her just in case, one of the monsters that I'm leveling up the bottom 2 there, if one of them dies, I'm kind of screwed because it cuts your experience in half if the monster is dead when you finish the game, or when you finish the stage. Now I do have Miho in there to hopefully heal them up if need be, but for the most part, as long as people can stay alive and you can fully auto it, that's your whole goal. And you also want to be, hopefully you have a couple of 3-stars or 4-star monsters that you can be grinding and leveling. See, he died right there, so now I don't have a revive. So unfortunately he's going to get half the experience, and it was like literally 3 seconds away from ending. But anyways, you want to be able to fully auto, get through, and just farm and farm and farm. You can see right there, well, I leveled up. Actually, I guess you can't see. Let me minimize it or get rid of that. As you can see for the rewards, I only got a gem and some gold. That I like right now at this stage, level 1 gems and the beginning equipment all really sucks. Like, it's kind of useless. Like, a lot of this stuff is like, I saw a couple that were like penetration plus 1%, which is awful. And you do have to level it up, but in order to level up gems, you have to like fuse them all together and stuff. And just, at the early levels, it's really not worth it. Don't even worry about gems. Equipment is a little bit different. But even the beginning equipment and stuff, it's still pretty shitty. So don't worry about really any of that. What we're aiming for is to get these 1 and 2 star fodder monsters. So let me start this back up, because I've been doing this all morning. Let's bring this back up. Perfect. And basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to get enough fodder, enough of these 1 and 2 star monsters. And like I said, hopefully you've got a couple 3-star monsters laying around. If not, you're going to have to get your 2-star monsters level 30, or yeah, I think it's level 30 plus 5. And what you're going to want to do is random evolve them. Always do a random evolve, because a fixed evolution will keep the monster, the first monster that you select, and just raise it. So if it's a 2-star, it'll go to a 3-star. If it's a 3-star, it'll go to a 4-star, etc. A lot of the monsters really aren't worth that. The couple exceptions, I would say, at least that I think right now, is Tart, the 3-star, the dark chick that the game gives you. She is extremely valuable, like I said, just because she has that revive, which I have yet to see on another monster. As well as a lot of people are saying her awakened first skill is super useful, and it does a ton of damage. So she's one of the monsters I would suggest using a fixed evo on for now, unless maybe you get another monster that does have a revive or better skills. Then don't worry about it. But you're always going to want to do a random evolve. So if you only have 2-star monsters, then you're going to get them to plus 5 and random evolve them to 3-star monsters. Once you have 3-star monsters, you're going to grind them up to level 30 and get them plus 5 as well. And you're going to keep random evolving them. Always random, because you never know what you're going to get. At that point, once you get them to 3 stars, level 30 plus 5, that's when you random evolve them to level 4, or to 4 stars. And at this point, this is really where it gets it can be, RNG based, and it kind of can be very intensive in terms of the grinding, because what you want is to get a elemental. It doesn't, as far as I know, it doesn't matter what actual element it is, but the elementals themselves are, they have an AoE skill that can potentially, if you level them up and equip them with good stuff, it can potentially one-shot the entire thing, because it literally hits all 9 squares. And I know the fire one, I have a couple friends that have the fire elemental. I believe the cooldown is only like 3 or 4 turns for that. So he's very strong and is considered right now one of the top farmers. So all you're going to be doing is living here, getting enough 1 and 2 star fodders to, randomly evolve them to 3-star fodders, and then getting enough 1 and 2 star monsters to get those 3-star monsters, and random evolving them into a 4-star monster. And you're going to basically keep doing this until you get an elemental, because the elementals will make your grinding much easier. And it's just it's like getting Rauk in Summoner's War. Once you hit that point, farming becomes a lot easier. It's still going to be a lot, and it's still going to be very intensive, but you're not going to have to worry about it as much. So once you get your elemental, you're going to want to give it your best equipment at the time. Now, for you guys that are watching right now, this is still the launch. Like, the game's only... the game's only been out for a couple of days now, at least in America, for their global launch and all that. So you should have the legendary sword, which I believe you only needed to hit level 9 to get that. So if you've cleared the story mode and you've already begun grinding and stuff, and you've done your basic arena stuff, you should be at level 9. If not, you're probably pretty close, so just keep grinding on that. So you're going to have that legendary sword. You can give it your best gems right now. It really doesn't matter. because gems are so insignificant really right now at level 1 and level 2 or whatever. Give him a good defense item, obviously. Depending, if you get to the point where he can solo, he's going to have to do a lot of damage in the first place. But, if you're not running a healer with him, it can still be kind of iffy depending on how the monsters target and how you place them. So give him your best equipment. It would also be beneficial to get him to at least +4, +5. Obviously, at some point, hopefully down the road, you will be random evolving him too. So getting him to +5 right off the bat, it would kill two birds with one stone. Basically, what you're going to do though is you're just going to keep farming with that elemental that is equipped with everything. Hopefully you've got him +5 or whatever. You're going to keep farming, and you're going to keep random evolving. You're going to keep doing this over and over again and create more 4-stars and more 4-stars and more 4-stars. And you're basically going to keep doing this until you're going to repeat the entire process until you have 6-star monsters. So you're going to get enough 4-star monsters and 2 and 3-star and all these fodder, so you can random evo into a 5-star. Now at the 5-star level, there are not elementals, there are dragons. Dragons are considered like the 5-star version of the elementals because they do have also an AoE attack which hits all 9 squares. So if you do hit a dragon, obviously that'll be your new farmer. You want to keep one of those guys around for a while and switch the equipment, so you give him the legendary sword, or if you have come across something better, which you probably won't have yet. But yeah, so elemental or dragon, that's probably going to be your best bet in terms of farming. And basically once you get that, you're just going to keep doing this over and over until you get more 6-star monsters. That's really the only way that people have been playing it. That's what everybody is kind of coming to as a general consensus. Once you've got some, a solid team with some 6-stars and stuff, you can go back through and clear the full story mode on hard again. Once you've cleared the full thing on hard, you can get Skull Rock Pinnacle again and play it on hard. Again, you're going to want a 3-star one of the stages, so you can fully auto it just like before. But this time, as you're going through, you're going to start getting 3-star fodder monsters as well as the 1 and 2 stars. So the 3 stars, you're basically essentially just repeating the process all over again, but you're starting 1 star higher. So you've got the 3 stars. In addition to the 3-star monsters, you will also be getting higher level equipment, which is good. You can start equipping some of your guys with some good equipment, some good gems. You can start fusing. Even really at that point, I think at hard mode, because I've done a couple of the first stages on hard so far, and some of the gems I've gotten really still aren't that great. So you probably still don't need to worry too much about those. It's really more so just the equipment and the fodder that we're looking for, as well as the gold. Because there are, the dungeons where you can get better equipment and better gems and stuff like that. But basically, once you're at Skull Rock Pinnacle on hard mode, hopefully you've got some 5 and 6-star monsters. But that's for the most part going to be it. You're just going to keep farming and keep, it is repetitive, but basically all of these games are grinding to no end and all this stuff. So hopefully you guys aren't shocked by this news. And then from there, once you've got your team and they're halfway decently equipped, then you can kind of start taking on a lot of the end game content and additional stuff. And at that point, you should have good enough monsters so you can do high enough levels to the point where it will actually start giving you good drops and actually start being useful to you. Just because the earlier levels really aren't that great. So that is essentially it. Like I said, it's very repetitive, it's very grindy, but all these games are like that, so that's nothing new. So hopefully you guys have found this a little bit helpful at least. I know a lot of people probably know the process, but they didn't necessarily know where to do it, so Skull Rock Pinnacle, that's your place. Other than that, like I said, the 3-star monsters, I would not get rid of Tart. 4-star monsters, you know, that's up to your discretion whether or not you think you'll need a monster or not. In theory, you can look at Reddit. There's a couple of people that have posted already, again, that also agree that Miho could be potentially a pretty good monster, and some other guys there that I have yet to see. So, you know, that's up to you, but just keep farming, keep going until you at least get that elemental and start that process all over and get a dragon. I guess that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys found this video helpful or, you know, entertaining or whatever, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be awesome. I believe the goal is 500 subscribers, and then I can finally create my own custom URL, you know, youtube.com/VERTX live or whatever. And I think right now we're like right at 400, or I think a little bit less than 400, so that would be awesome, and I really do appreciate the support. If you'd like, you can follow my Twitch channel. I used to stream Summoners War a decent amount. I haven't, you know, for a while, just because at nighttime there's a lot of, you know, the OMG Bomber, Alicia, and some of the other guys that are kind of the prominent streamers for the most part. It's really hard to stream at those hours just because they've got basically all of the viewers. But I was thinking about starting to stream a little bit of the Wonder Tactics because, as far as I know, I don't think anybody really streams it for the most part. So go ahead and follow that. It'll send you alerts to when I get on. And then also you can follow my Twitter page, which is twitter.com/VERTX live. I do post updates there when I'm going to be creating YouTube content, or if I am going to be live streaming, or just general updates. Can be also found there. So if you want to follow that, that would be awesome as well. Otherwise, I will leave this screen here for you guys. Like I said, either screenshot it, write it down, do what you got to do. And I guess I will see you guys in the next video.